In the world of aviation, a major deal was struck between two giants, McDonnell Douglas, in an attempt to dominate the skies. However, despite having been an unstoppable force, McDonnell Douglas eventually disappeared from the industry it had helped shape. How did such a powerhouse crumble? Was its downfall inevitable? In the 1920s, James McDonnell and Donald Douglas were two pioneers who revolutionized aviation. Little did they know that their paths would soon cross and change the world of flight forever. James McDonnell was a brilliant engineer with a sharp business mind. After graduating from Princeton, he founded J.S. McDonnell and Associates in Wisconsin in 1926. He dreamed of making personal aircraft for everyone, but the Great Depression shattered that vision. With the economy in ruins, few people could afford luxuries like private planes. McDonnell was forced to pivot his business, shifting his focus away from the consumer market. Undeterred, he moved to Missouri in 1939 and started the Donald Aircraft Corporation. During the early 20th century, two men, James McDonnell and Donald Douglas, revolutionized the aerospace industry. McDonnell founded his company, which focused on creating fast and agile fighter aircraft, while Douglas founded the Douglas Aircraft Company in Los Angeles. Both companies won contracts with the U.S. Navy and became famous for building tough, reliable military planes. As World War II began, the demand for advanced warplanes increased significantly. McDonnell and Douglas were ready to answer the challenge with their unique talents and unstoppable drive. The McDonnell and Douglas factories became vital to the Allies' fight for freedom during World War II. McDonnell's company designed the P-51 Mustang, which became a game-changer for the Allies. The Mustang had superior range and was extremely effective as an altitude pursuit escort machine, boasting speed, maneuverability, and firepower. Meanwhile, Douglas built on his reputation for tough, reliable aircraft and created the Douglas SBD Dauntless dive bomber, which became a U.S. Navy legend at the Battle of Midway. It sank multiple Japanese aircraft carriers, turning the tide of the Pacific War. Both McDonnell and Douglas factories produced thousands of aircraft during the war, making them crucial to the Allied victory. Their engineering excellence and mass production capabilities laid the groundwork for both companies to shape the future of aviation. After the war, McDonnell and Douglas emerged as powerhouses in the aerospace industry. The lessons they learned during the war would drive innovation in the jet age, where new heights and challenges awaited. World War II ended, but a new conflict arose: the Cold War. This tense standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union fueled a relentless race for technological dominance. McDonnell and Douglas were at the forefront, pushing aviation into the jet age thanks to their military contracts. Jet engines offered incredible speed and power, and McDonnell struck first with the F-86 Sabre, a swept-wing fighter that outclassed Soviet MiGs in the Korean War. This agile aircraft cemented America's early edge in the skies. Douglas countered with the legendary F-4 Phantom, a versatile fighter bomber that became a workhorse of the Vietnam War. Despite facing improved enemy defenses, the F-4's speed and firepower made it a force to be reckoned with. As the Cold War intensified, the focus turned to nuclear weapons. Bombers capable of obliterating entire cities became a terrifying reality. McDonnell Douglas built the B-66 destroyer and even larger bombers, grim tools of a strategy called mutually assured destruction, or MAD. In essence, this meant that if one side attacked, the other would retaliate, guaranteeing global devastation. Fortunately, these bombers never saw their intended use, but their existence shaped the world. In the late 1950s, a new market emerged: passenger air travel. McDonnell Douglas saw the potential, and their military jet technology would revolutionize how the world traveled, making flights faster and more accessible than ever. After World War II, a yearning for peace sparked a travel boom. Seizing the moment, McDonnell and Douglas turned from warplanes to a bold new challenge, revolutionizing how the world flew. In 1958, Douglas unveiled the sleek DC-8, rivaling Boeing's 707. This jet promised not just speed, but a whole new level of comfort. Gone was the roar of propellers, replaced by a smooth, powerful hum. Passengers could cross oceans in hours, journeys that once took days. Airlines rushed to embrace this jetted marvel. McDonnell followed with the DC-9, a smaller, versatile jetliner ideal for shorter routes and smaller airports. It brought the jet experience to even more regions. Efficient and reliable, the DC-9 helped make air travel less of a luxury and more of a necessity. McDonnell Douglas understood it wasn't just about speed. Their jets transformed the feel of flight itself. Spacious cabins, wider seats, these were revolutionary compared to the cramped, noisy flights of the past. The jet age also brought glamour, stylish flight attendants, gourmet meals, even the sleek design of the aircraft, all made flying an event. They made air travel faster, smoother, more accessible, and undeniably more stylish. McDonnell Douglas soared to incredible heights, but no empire lasts forever. A costly gamble, fierce rivals, and a shifting global landscape threatened to bring the giant down. In the mid-1960s, McDonnell Douglas found itself in a difficult position. The DC10 disaster, strong competitors, and lack of innovation had left the company unstable. To survive, the company merged with Douglas Aircraft in 1967. The idea was to combine resources and reduce costs to compete better against Boeing and Airbus. Initially, the merger was seen as a bold move to save American aerospace dominance. However, doubts remained about whether the two companies could truly integrate. The merger created conflicts between McDonnell's get-it-done attitude and Douglas's slow-moving bureaucracy. There were also financial issues that continued to affect the new company. While the merger bought McDonnell Douglas time, it did not resolve its core problems. The company's slow innovation, heavy debt, and competitors gaining ground were still major challenges. In the late 1960s, McDonnell Douglas hoped to regain its pioneering spirit by launching the DC10, a wide-bodied trijet airliner. Today, the DC10 is scheduled for its first test flight, representing an investment of over $1 billion of private capital by McDonnell Douglas. The success of this flight will be of great interest to the 100,000 workers whose future depends on the skilled hands of test pilot Cliff Stout. The DC-10 was designed to compete with Lockheed's L-1011 TriStar by carrying more passengers and offering a more comfortable flight experience. Although the DC-10 eventually had a long career, things started out rough for the aircraft due to problems with its engines early on, which hurt its reputation for being reliable. In addition, a major event threw a wrench into the whole plan as in 1973, the entire world faced an oil crisis, which caused the price of fuel to skyrocket. Airlines, struggling to keep costs down, suddenly weren't interested in buying expensive new airplanes anymore. They needed to save money, not spend it on fancy new jets that guzzled gas. This left McDonnell Douglas, the manufacturer of DC-10, in a tough spot. The company was stuck with many expensive airplanes that nobody wanted to buy. While McDonnell Douglas was dealing with the DC-10's problems, Boeing came back strong with a game-changer, the iconic 747. This massive plane could carry many more passengers over long distances, revolutionizing long-haul travel. With this advantage, Boeing took control of the market for long flights. As if things weren't bad enough for McDonnell Douglas, a new competitor emerged across the ocean: Airbus. Airbus offered modern twin-engine airplanes like the A300 and A310. These planes were designed to be fuel-efficient, which became a major selling point after the oil crisis. Airlines, looking to save money after the fuel price hike, were very interested in Airbus's offerings. This took away potential customers from McDonnell Douglas, which found itself backed into a corner. The innovations that had made McDonnell Douglas a powerful contender seemed like a lifetime ago. Worse yet, some of the company's own choices started to tighten the screws. Instead of specializing, McDonnell Douglas tried to do it all. The company wanted lucrative military contracts and to continue developing passenger airplanes. The company McDonnell Douglas was struggling due to their split focus, which caused their resources to be spread too thin. Critics believed that the company lacked a clear plan for the air market and was slow to adapt to the changing world of new competitors and rising fuel prices. This made them appear clumsy and out of touch compared to their rivals. Although McDonnell Douglas still produced solid planes, they had lost their edge. Their once mighty foundation was cracking, and their fall from grace seemed inevitable. The 1980s and 1990s only brought slow decay, with each crisis chipping away at their reputation. The MD-11 project was meant to be a savior for the company, but it became a symbol of their downward spiral due to delays, disappointing performance, and a string of accidents. The billions of dollars spent on the project vanished, leaving McDonnell Douglas weaker than ever. Even on their old battleground, the winds were changing. The Cold War's end meant fewer big contracts to fight over, which led to shrinking defense budgets. McDonnell Douglas was pitted against rivals like Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman in a desperate dogfight for survival. The rise of Airbus was perhaps the cruelest blow, as the European giant built cutting-edge, fuel-sipping jets that lured airlines with their modern technology and aggressive deals. McDonnell Douglas felt outdated and was being left behind. By the mid-1990s, McDonnell Douglas was on the brink of collapse. Crippled by debt, their planes outdated and their rivals circling, time was running out. Boeing saw an opportunity and moved in to acquire the struggling company. In 1997, a $13 billion deal was struck after months of tense negotiations. Boeing absorbed McDonnell Douglas, forever changing the landscape of American aviation. Some believed that it was the end they saw coming, as McDonnell Douglas was too far gone to survive. Others felt saddened by the legendary name and powerhouse of innovation fading away. The merger brought stability, but also one big question: could these two giants truly merge? McDonnell Douglas workers, proud of their history, feared being swallowed whole. Boeing, with its own way of doing things, faced a monumental challenge. This clash of two distinct identities wasn't just business. The differences in culture proved hard to bridge. Brilliant people left, taking their knowledge of McDonnell Douglas and its legacy with them. Even within Boeing, some choices made about the old rival's products and people would cause bitterness for years to come. Boeing tried to keep the spirit alive, but things would never be the same. The iconic MD logo faded from planes, replaced by Boeing Blue. While some classic McDonnell Douglas designs still fly, upgraded and modernized, the company that created them is gone. It lives on only in history and the memories of the countless people who once walked its factory floors with pride. The tireless DC-9 still serves smaller airlines, while the troubled MD-11 hauls cargo across the globe. Fighters like the F-15 Eagle and F-18 Hornet protect nations worldwide. Every roar of their engines is an echo of McDonnell Douglas's engineering might. The company's death wasn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. It was a blow to those who believed in the name on their badges. If you are an aviation history buff, let's build a community of enthusiasts. Hit that like button and leave a comment about your favorite McDonnell Douglas aircraft.